Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What is going on? Happy Wednesday to you. That's right. It is Wealth Wednesday, generational wealth strategies. What's going on, guys? Yeah, hello to all my fans out there in the crypto world. It's good to see you. I know it's a beautiful day, Wednesday. Out, I'm sure throughout most of the country, people are hanging out, enjoying the warm weather, but we still got to get the Wealth Wednesday in. Without question, we're going to definitely do that. And I'm going to share a little bit of my conversation with a very smart guy who was an estate attorney from a really, really prestigious law firm. I'm going to share that. So that's kind of like part two. It's kind of like the follow-up to the first conversation that I had with this guy. So yeah, I'm going to share that as well. Hopefully the stream is working good. Loving this new software without question. Well, Wednesdays, liquidate or leverage your capital. What would the wealthy do? And I hope I titled that the right way. I hope I titled it the right way. Wait, can you see the title? Well, Wednesday, liquidate or leverage. What would the wealthy do? Dubian 2, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you on the stream. Stephen Hughes, liquidate? Nah. Hey, Steve, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Right? Talking capital, talking what would the wealthy do? Absolutely. Had a great talk with the people from I Trust Capital. Talk with Blake. That was a great conversation. And I got to tell you, I came across, I left that conversation hugely impressed because the most important thing in any business, in anything that you're doing, is you have to be honest and transparent without question. And so this dude was very, very, very honest. First time I had a chance to talk with him, with Blake from I Trust Capital. Oh, okay. I bought Charlie Lee's is in the building. He says, I'm stealth mode only. Listen only. Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Well, appreciate you checking in without question. Yeah. So honesty, trust is what I got from my conversation. Transparency, what I got from my conversation. So those three things is massive. And he displayed all of them. So that was really, really a cool deal without question. And so, and another exciting thing is he's a fan in this space, in the digital asset space. So that helps as well, right? Big time. So what's going on, Edward Benson? Huddle. Trey Houses in the building. What's up, Trey? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, so I'm going to share my conversation with my follow-up conversation with an estate tax attorney or state attorney, right? Which was really, really good, really sharp guy from a really prestigious firm. I got to tell you, they've been around for a long time. And so great to talk with him. I'm going to share the questions, right, with you guys as well, at least share the link with you guys for kind of where you can get these questions. And it's funny, too, because initially I thought I was going to ramble off these questions. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So I ended up kind of working them in the conversation. So I'm going to share. We're going to go over those questions as well. Where are they? Here they are. And then we're going to really talk about what, wealthy and what the wealthy do with capital, right? I got to tell you, I'm getting more and more excited about learning more and more about Austrian economics. I'm getting excited about learning that and kind of going down that path, learning about capital, what is true capital and what that looks like. Because in the digital asset space, I think it's really, really important because there's going to be different options out there available to you, right? There's going to be different options available to you. And if you don't kind of get the fundamentals for what capital truly is, the cost of capital and learning how to value your capital to value your capital, right? There's, things can happen, bad things can happen. You said, and it's a learning thing, really, because it's not taught in schools. True capital and the definition of capital is not taught in schools. How to value capital, not taught in schools, right? So we're going to talk about that. What would the wealthy do? So do me a favor and just throw your answer in the chat. The title is Wealth Wednesday, Liquidate or Leverage Capital. What would the wealthy do? What would the wealthy do? Me a favor and shout it out in the chat. To liquidate your capital is spending your capital. Leveraging your capital is leveraging your capital, right? So do me a favor, let me know what you guys think. What the wealthy do? Do they leverage or liquidate their capital? I'm going to have a very good conversation tomorrow with a very, very sharp young man. I say he's a young man. He's 27, 28, maybe 29. And looking forward to that conversation. He has a PhD in economics, Austrian economics. Really, really sharp guy. Raymond Heslop says leverage. XRP Gal, leverage. Love it. What do you guys think? What do the wealthy do with their capital? Do they liquidate it or leverage it? Liquidate, that just means, liquidated doesn't mean, you throw it away. It means, you may go buy a car. You may go buy a house. Right? You might go buy some jewelry. I mean, it's your money, right? Threadwork Derek's in the building. What's going on, bro? He says leverage. So what do you guys think? I see a few leverages. Jubian2 says, I would leverage without question. I know I bought Charlie's bags is listening only, so he can't respond. He's in the listen mode only. XRP Gal, it's good to see you in the stream, miss. How are you tonight? Yeah, so liquidate where there is a tax incentive. Okay, interesting point there, Steve. XRP Gal says, I feel the word leverage just sounds like a rich, wealthy word. Let me share that. XRP Gal says the word leverage just sounds like a rich, wealthy word. Indeed. Edward Benson says, I feel that they would liquidate and hold and reinvest at new lows. Gotcha. And so I was doing some homework and reviewing some stuff, and one of the guys, I was listening to this economics. So this guy's an economist, right? And he was talking with a hugely successful business person, hugely successful, and in his space and his arena that he operates in, financial planner and or insurance person, right? And they were talking about capital and what the wealthy do with their capital, and wealthy people leverage their capital. And I'm paraphrasing this part, and the masses liquidate their capital. Indeed, XRP Gal. I'm loving it. Absolutely. Thank you. Wen Muller, what's going on, bro? What is going on? Yeah, so the answer without question is leverage. And that kind of led me to thinking about something as well. Liquidate, leverage. Tax deferred, tax free yield, right? To me, it's those are the kind of the options, right? Liquidate, right? So liquidate is, hey, when moon, cash out, right? That's a form of liquidating, right? Yield, earning yield or interest, right? That could be something like on a BitTrue. If you're confident in that platform and feel safe there, via the Power Piggy, right? Yield can be on platforms like BlockFi, Nexo, or Celsius, where you earn yield on your assets. Kava Labs, who do me a favor and in the chat, tell me that you feel like you're pretty comfortable what Kava Labs is going to be doing here shortly if they're not doing it already. So if you are familiar with Kava Labs, just put Kava in there and you feel like you're comfortable what they're going to be doing. Just put Kava in the chat. And if you're not, just say, I don't know, IDK. So if you feel like you're comfortable knowing what Kava's doing and what they're looking to do, and put Kava. And if you don't know, just put I don't know. Do me a favor and put that in the chat, please. That would be awesome. Just so I can know who I'm kind of speaking to here. What's up, comedian Chuck Real? I wonder if there any delay on this thing. Let's see. We got some Kavas. Robert Thompson, Kava. Trey Hauser, I don't know. Steve Hughes, I don't know. Very cool. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Comedian Chuck Real, Kava. Okay. Will XRP, I don't know, right? Kava Labs. I'm going to let Kava tell you. I'm going to let Kava tell you. Let's look up Kava Labs real quick. All right. I don't know. Any other I don't knows? When Mullet, what's going on, bro? You familiar with Kava? For sales in the building. I've heard of, but I have no idea what they're getting ready to do. Very cool, XRP gal. Thank you. So let's look up Kava so that we can go through it together. Now, I have a pretty good idea what they do, what they're doing. Threadway Derek, I don't know. XRP Lava said it's for loans. What kind of loans, XRP Lava? All right, let's do this. Let's look up Kava. It would be Kava Labs. Let's look it up together. Is it Kava.io? I don't even know. Yeah, it is Kava. It says DeFi for crypto. DeFi for crypto. Leverage assets with Kava's cross-chain CDP platform. How about that? Leverage your assets. All right. I don't know what this USDX registration is all about. Finance decentralized. Bitcoin, Cosmos, XRP, Binance. Well, you look at there. Collateral, leverage, and stability. Collateralize your favorite assets for free using Kava's multi-collateral CDP system, collateralized debt position system. Leverage, HODL harder. You can increase your exposure using Kava's decentralized CDPs. Stability, move out of a position into a stable coin backed by the best crypto assets in the world. Easy and safe. The Kava CDP platform is secured by 100 plus validators. The very best professional validator services ensure your assets are safe. Okay, so there's the Kava platform, right? So just kind of give you an idea. Just notice the words there, right? Notice the terminology there, right? Built on Tendermint consensus, proven bonded proof of stake. Proven bonded proof of stake. Multi-asset first. Kava is built from the ground up to leverage your assets, to let you leverage the assets you want. No more waiting around for blocks to clear. A single block finality and high throughputs lets you save time on execution when it counts. Very, very excited to see Celsius is hooked up with Chainlink, guys. I got to tell you, really excited about that. So since 2017, the Kava Labs team has used its blockchain expertise to provide solutions to Ripple, Tendermint, Slant, Cosmos, Tezos, MakerDAO, and many of the other blockchain projects. Solutions to those projects. There's the team there. We're all familiar with Brian Kerr, nice guy, sharp young man. Some pretty cool advisors here. Interesting. A lot of young guys there. So, and yes, our partners, okay. We certainly know Ripple, right? Arrington, XRP Capital, of course. I get a feeling that Arrington XRP Capital is pretty sharp guy, which is why I'm looking into one of the particular platforms that he is. None of these things are clickable though, right? Let's see here, discover, let's see. Yeah, so nothing there. So collateral, leverage, and stability. And so let's go back here. Those of you familiar with Kava, so there's, my understanding overall is that, you know, it's about collateralized debt positions. I am not aware of Kava being in some type of yield on your assets as a platform. Can someone here in the chat correct me on that? So my understanding is Kava is it is a leverage your collateral platform, and that they're initially the assets that you can use is Bitcoin, Cosmos, BNB, and XRP. Right? So the USDX is the new stablecoin, right? Robert Thompson, USDX is the new stablecoin. They are minting using the BNB staking, right? Binance staking. So can you do staking on that platform, Robert? Or is it essentially only collateralized debt position loans? My understanding is that that's all there is. Right. So collateralized debt positions, right? Here's my thing about that. It allows you to leverage your assets. You know, we don't know what the loan to value is going to be. Let's say it's 50%. If you want 2,000, you got to have 4,000 in assets on the platform. And then they give you 2,000 and the stable coin for you to use as you will. With those stable coins, you can buy more digital assets, or you can convert it into fiat dollars, use it fiat dollars, right? So you get stable coins. So it's collateralizing, right? Leveraging your assets. Now, do they do anything else on Kava? I just want to make sure before I make my point. You can stake your Binance for USDX and earn 18% a year. Robert Thompson. So let me bring that one up as well. Robert seems like he knows a lot about the platform. So you're saying that if you have BNB, you can stake it on the Kava platform, Robert Thompson, and earn 18%. Let me show that again. Is that what you're saying, Robert? I just want to make sure. That's what I'm trying to find out, XRP Gal, is similar to Celsius. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to find out the whole staking part of it. Steve Hughes says, sounds like a great way to lose my assets in the current market. Yep. So Robert, so can you stake BNB on The Kava platform, is that the ultimate goal? Is that what they're looking to do? I don't know. I'm not certain. So I don't know about the staking part. In other words, you put your you put your assets on the platform, you have to register. You have to register and get on a waiting list in order to stake your BNB. Wow. Okay, I got you. You have to register and get on a waiting list to stake your BNB. Am I correct, Robert? Okay. I want to make sure I'm correct on that before I. Key to Thumbs. What's up? Stay home. How you doing, Key to Thumbs? Good to see you guys. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Smash the likes. If you didn't get a chance to do that on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash that like. If you're enjoying the hangout, then come back. So you have to register. So there's two things there. You have to own BNB, and then you have to register. You have to register and get on the waiting list in order to stake your BNB. That's what it feels like, right? So Robert says you have to. Let me put this up here, and this is I think this is an important note. Barry Broussard Jr., what's going on, my friend? This is what Robert Thompson has to say. You have to register and get on the waiting list, not at all like Celsius, right? And so that was kind of my point. I don't think it's at all like Celsius either, because Celsius, you can put your BTC, your ETH, your XRP, your 0x, your whatever the 21 to 23 different digital assets that they have on there. You put it on the platform and you earn yield on those digital assets. In addition to that, if you choose to, you can collateralize your assets and get yourself a collateralized loan, or leverage your assets and get yourself a leverage loans. So there's two things that go on there, right? There's two things that are going on there. So my thing is, and I believe Kava, is Kava up and running yet? I don't think they're up and running quite yet, Robert, right? They're not up and running yet. I appreciate that, Barry Broussard. Appreciate you being here big time. TJ Jackson, what's good, brother? Anything on how the loans could work yet? No details yet, right? From Brian Kerr. Like, what's the LTV, the loan to value going to be? What is it going to look like? Is it going to be anything different than Nexo or BlockFi or Celsius, who is quite honestly, wiping the floor with all the other platforms? How is it going to be different? Because I just remember so many people in the community, I mean, just promoting the heck out of Kava and Kava Labs and collateralized debt positions, right? I mean, just promoting it big time, right? You got, right? Promoting it big time. And I think, for the XRP community as well. So I remember Susie from Esoteric Trading Solutions. She made a point that I think some people missed, and that, a lot of times XRP can be used as the attraction factor for the digital asset space. So it can be used like that. It has that attractor effect, right? And she called Solo out on the fact that there was no liquidity, and the whole XRP thing, feeling like it was more of just to draw people in. So I'm curious as to what Kava is going to do that's going to be any different. But my thing is, if a platform is a better platform, then a platform is a better platform. right? Right. And I think it's always important to just to kind of acknowledge that. And so right now, collateralized debt positions in that space is collateralized debt positions in that space. Every platform handles it differently, right? And that may add to the risk or lessen the risk, right? Overall, it's always risky to do collateralized loans, but it's always risky to leverage your assets in any space, whether it be in the crypto space or outside of the space. There's always, right? There's always a risk involved in it. So you have to weigh the pros and the cons of it. But it's not so much about what the market is doing, right? It's about what the platform is doing in the market, right? Because in the same market, right? In the same market, Nexo and BitMEX, it was the same market, right? They went on a liquidation. It was a nightmare. I mean, people just got liquidated and liquidated and liquidated and liquidated. Same market. Yet Celsius, of all of their institutional people, no one got liquidated. And I think somewhere between 4 and 5 regular retail people got liquidated. Right? Same market, significantly different outcome. Why? Because of the platform and the people running the platform operate in the same market, do in their same lane, which is collateralized debt positions, but they behave and they act differently. So it's not about the market. It's about the platform and how that platform is treating you and how it's performing in that market, right? Again, BitMEX and BitTrue and BlockFi and Nexo and Celsius, their platforms operated in the same market, but how they operated their platforms made all the difference in terms of liquidation, because all the liquidation took place on those markets, on those platforms, rather, excuse me, and not on the Celsius platform. If that makes sense to you. So, you know, I think it's important to be I don't want to say neutral or unbiased, but be honest. Be honest when you're promoting a platform over another platform, right? You can't blame it. You can't blame the market. It's not the market. It's the platform and how they perform and handle themselves and how they do business in the market. That's the difference. Right. And so it's like we don't want to practice nepotism in the digital asset space. Right. We don't want to do that. We want to promote honesty, transparency, if you will, not honesty, but transparency, which is one of the big reasons why I had a great conversation with I Trust Capital Blake. I think his name is Blake Chadron, because he was very honest and transparent, right? And I forget the other third word. Trust. You could see that trust. Transparent and honest, it was just oozing out from him, right? And I'm not going to tell you kind of details of our kind of personal conversation, but based upon, you know, me asking questions and me being transparent and honest with him, he responded in kind because he had a choice not to, right? you have a choice to promote a thing, or you have a choice to be honest and transparent, right, and trustworthy. And I think it's hugely important to do that, right? Hugely important to do that. Robert Thomas says, agreed. I'm a huge fan of Celsius. Okay, cool. Very good. I did not know that. And Alex Mashinsky. Well, you and I would be in the same camp, my friend, Robert. Both great. Next level is criminals, right? And so again, the market was the same, right? Markets, everyone is all five of those platforms operate in the same market. Right? Right? The digital asset space, right? That market, the world, right? Ups and downs and, all that same market. And all of those platforms are in their same arena, right? They operate in that DeFi and, or, that collateralized debt position space, right? But the way they handle their business and their platform is the difference. And from my study with I Trust Capital, right? And all the other self-directed IRAs in the space, right? Same space. But they handle themselves just significantly better than the rest of them, right? Fees. I don't even know how to even operate on the fees, right? Cheap. Honest, transparent, trustworthy. Thus far, that has been my experience, and I've been seeing a lot of good people say good things about them, right? See what I'm saying? So that's kind of the difference, right? That's the difference. And so I think that's the thing that is most important. Right? That I think is the difference. So, all right. So let me catch on someone in the comments here. Yeah, and for sale, that's a great point. I'll put this up here, right? That's a great point as well. Celsius needs to get its act together so that it's available to all, right? And so their thing is a very, 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 very cautious, right? Because they're the underdog when as compared to the banks. They're the underdogs, and so they don't want to make us. They don't want any kind of misstep anywhere, and so it is really unfortunate they're not in all of the states yet in the U.S. They're not even in New York, and Alex Mashinsky is in New York, right? So I wanted to make that point, though. So we got to be careful. Nepotism. We don't need that in the digital asset space. We need complete transparency and honesty, and so for me, doing your homework and due diligence about Celsius and learning how you can earn yield on your digital assets. And if you choose to operate in the collateralized debt position space, make sure you understand how it all works. You don't want to be 100% of your assets in a collateralized debt position loan. That's my humble opinion. Certainly not telling you what to do with your money, but you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to be collateralizing all of your assets, right? So it's that platform is not about how can I figure out how to pay my rent for the next 6 months? Let me put this up, and that's not what you want to do, right? Let me put up my assets so that I can get some cash. That's not what you want to do, right? It's wealthy people take a percentage, very, very small percentage of their assets, and they leverage them. Right? They leverage them, but it's not 98%, right? It's 2%, right? It's 1%, right? Just like we just discovered that Paul Tudor Jones, right? This dude went all in terms of confirmation, in terms of joining the digital asset space team, if you will. I mean, this dude went all in, right? Now, did he put all $32 billion of his assets into BTC? Yeah, I don't think so. Right? It was like right at 2% or just under 2%, right? But that was a leverage. It's a leverage and or a hedge, is he's using it as a hedge, right? But he's not going to put 32 billion into it, right? It wouldn't make any sense. And so that's the same way with platforms like Celsius. right? You don't want to go all in on it, right? You want to take advantage of the platform in ways that you can, but certainly not all in on it. So, and then you got to weigh the pros, cons, and the risk. Ledger Nano, safe, right? Safe is as safe could be currently, but no, there's no yield, right? So there's no yield, right? And if you're good with that, you take that, right? You're good with that, you take that. You take the leverage. If you're not, you leave it on the nano, right? You leave it on the nano and understand that, you know, one of the most interesting things I've learned over the last 2 weeks, well, probably 2 months that I've been kind of researching these cash value life insurance is that interest, being in the banking business, everyone's already in the banking business, right? But either you're leveraging the banking business or the banking business is leveraging you, right? That's the difference. Here's what I've been hearing a lot. Barry Prasad, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Big time. Appreciate you being here. Just sending some good vibes your way. I appreciate that. Keep doing you. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that big time. Right? You're either leveraging banking or banking is leveraging you. So here's a thing that I was thinking about. It's a really, really interesting thing. You're either paying interest or you're losing interest, right? You're either earning interest or you're losing interest. And it's really a really, really funny thing when people talk about financing and different things like that. Like the automobile, I think is a great example of interest. You're either earning interest or paying interest, or you give up the interest that you could have earned. It's a really, really interesting concept when you think about banking. You know, I just recently learned, right? Didn't know this, that automobile dealerships, third-party lenders, whatever that looks like, right? Because it's not the dealership giving you the loan, right? It's a finance company that's providing the cash, and the finance company is getting the cash. The vast majority of them buy cash in bulk from, you know, insurance companies. I just learned that myself. But a lot of people want to pay cash for a car, and you think about paying cash for a car. Let's say it's a $50,000 car, and you're starting at zero. It's going to take you 3, 4, 5 years. Let's say 5 years to get that $50,000, right? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, like a lot of people are like, nope, I'm going to save the money. No financing here. There is no way I'm financing. Nope. Heck no, I'm not giving them any interest. I'm paying cash. I'm going to get the best car. I'm going to get the best price because I'm paying cash, right? So let's say, first of all, it takes you 5 years to get that 50,000. That's 10,000 a year, right? One scenario is you're just saving in the bank, which means you're not making any money on that 10,000, right? Is that fair to say? That's fair to say, right? No money on that 10,000, saving in the bank, right? You getting your earned income at the right. So for 12 months, bank account, no money, but you got 10,000 at the end of that year, right? And trust me when I tell you, you're doing significantly a lot better than the masses. But just understand, after that year, there is no, right? Maybe 2, 5, 10 cents, maybe, right? Second year, do the same thing again. So again, you're not earning any interest. You're saving, and that is outstanding. But you're not earning any interest. Third year, saving, not earning any interest. Fourth year, saving, not earning any interest. Fifth year, saving, not earning any interest, right? But now, man, you are going to take it. You got your 50 grand, and you are going to take it to the car dealership, to the freaking car sales manager, right? To this car salesperson, maybe not to the car salesperson. It's not their fault. They're just in the business that they're in, right? But you are going to take it to the car sales manager and that dealership. And you're like, yeah, I'm here to buy a car. you're talking with a salesperson, you're going through all the different things. You decide on the car that you want with all the bells and whistles and everything's at the dealership on this particular car. Get down, cool, hour later, they bring you into the salesperson brings you into the deal and says, how do you plan on financing this car? How do you plan on financing this car? And you say, well, what is the final price for this car? Because I'm going to be paying cash for this car. And this is the price that I want to pay, right? Now, understand, because you do have cash in the bank and you can get it to them, wire the check, whatever it is, you can get it to them. You have some other options, don't you? You do. You have some options right? Because of the golden rule. Because of the golden rule, you have options. And the golden rule in banking and finance is he who has the gold makes the rules. Right? He who has the gold makes the rules, right? What's going on, Sarhar? Good to see you on the stream, bro. Welcome. Edward Benson's in the building, right? Makes sense, right, guys? He who has the gold makes the rules, right? So it gives you some options. You're like, yeah, I see that price and I see that price, but this is what I want to pay, and I'm going to pay cash for it. Car salesman person is going to get up. They're going to go to the manager. They can tell the manager, yeah, this dudette is paying cash, and this is the price that they're willing to pay. Right? Whatever it might be $150 over invoice, $50 over invoice. That happens all the time. When someone has cash, the dealership, I promise you, they'll take $50 to $150 over invoice, especially when there's cash involved, right? And so they come back, right? Manager come back, they say, yep. Cool, we'll take that price. Let's set up the wire thing, get that all done, wire the money, boom. Here's our information. You go back to your bank, they fill out the direct deposit stuff, boom, boom, boom. It gets to the dealership, hopefully within 3 business days, hopefully, right? And you have your car, right? So remember the scenario. I just want you guys to think about this. The scenario was year 1, save, no interest on their money. Year 2, save, no interest on your money. Year 3, save, no interest on your money. Year 4, save, no interest on your money. You guys get my hint, right? 5 years of saving, no yield. No yield, right? You got yourself a car now. Cool. You drive off, man. You stuck it to them. No interest, right? You're not paying any interest. But what you don't realize, and a lot of people don't realize, is you didn't earn any interest either. On that same $50,000, your money, you earn no interest. And you could have. On the same $50,000, you could have earned interest, you could have earned yield, and you still could have got that car. So saving, cool. Paying cash, cool. But there are other options, and there are better options. And it's really, the mindset behind that is, like most people either pay interest or they give up the interest that they could have earned on their capital. That $50,000 was yours. 100% yours. 100% yours. And you transferred some value, but you lost your interest. You didn't earn the interest. And there's ways to not do that and still get the car and earn your yield. Right. And so I just wanted to kind of point that out to you guys. It's leveraging your capital or liquidating your capital. 2 very, very different things. That scenario there, that dude or dudette liquidated their capital. And it's a big, big, huge, massive difference. And trust me when I say, I am just learning this. I didn't learn about the value of capital, cost of capital, and valuing your capital until recently. And we've been blessed to do really, really well for a long time. But because I didn't know about how to value capital and determine capital, and because I didn't know about banking and the fact that I'm in the banking business right now, I'm just being leveraged in the banking business. I'm not leveraging the banking business. It's a huge eye opener because I didn't know. I didn't know that I could leverage the banking system. And most people think that leveraging the banking system is, the savers. You get them. You know what I'm talking about. Trust me. You have someone in your life who they don't like to pay interest. Well, I'm buying cash. I do not want any payments. We all know someone like that. We all know, right? We all know. And in XRP Gal, that's a great point. And guess who they transfer the cost to? XRP Gal says it costs the dealership every month the cars on that lot. And guess who they transfer the cost to? Yes, to you and I. To you and I. In that interest. And probably in the warranties as well. They pass the cost on. They don't absorb it themselves. Trust me. They pass it on. So anyway, I just wanted to make that point. Let me share. First of all, let me see who's on. If I missed anyone in the stream. Steve Hughes. Yes, it's fair to say. Says for sale. Some real guy. What's going on, bro? If I didn't say it was good. Good to see you on the stream tonight. TJ Jackson, that's not a bad idea, but there's a better way. Just want to let you know. I make weekly car payments instead of monthly to touch the principal and lower interest, paying it off faster and saving a few dollars. Yep. Good point. There is a better way. Absolutely. And I'm going to share those better ways with you guys. I'm really, really excited, but I can't share it until I'm doing it. But I know there are better ways. Add 3% transaction fee to the credit card purchase. That's right. That's right. But I want you guys to kind of think about that principle. Now, some people do it a different way with that car scenario. They put the cash into a CD that they can cash out, every year, right? And so they're earning some yield from what a CD might pay, right? Whatever that might look like. But understand that cash thing, 5 years from now, they're going to go through that same scenario again because now they have no cash. They got the car, but they got no cash. And so if they want to buy again another car with cash, what do they have to immediately start doing? They have to start saving cash for the next car payment. And again, in doing so with their own capital, they're not earning any yield. It's a vicious cycle unless you know how to get out of it. DC Precise is in the building. What's going on, DC Precise? You know what I mean? Absolutely. So, guys, the answer to that question is definitely, in my humble opinion, is wealthy leverage their assets. They leverage their assets. In fact, I heard Alex Mashinsky say that very same thing. They do two things. They earn yield on their assets, right, in a safe way, and then they leverage, right? They don't leverage 100% of everything they have. They leverage a small, teeny, tiny partial, right? Very, very small part of their assets. Leverage, right? Leverage. And I think that, one of the biggest things about Wealth Wednesdays, if I talked to the state attorney today, this dude was pumped up and excited about Wealth Wednesday. So I'm hoping to get him on. He said, wow, really? I said, yeah, that's what we're doing. He said, man, I love it. And it's funny, too, because when I was talking with him, I was telling him about Wealth Wednesdays. And I said, listen, make no mistake about it. One of the first things I said is this is something a lot of the stuff we're doing is we're learning it together, reading together, getting into wealth consciousness together. Right. I don't want to come off as the expert knowing all things. That's without question. But I will share what I learned. I will share some things that I learned. And one of the things that I learned today from talking with this really, really awesome estate planner, estate tax attorney, is asset protection is massive. It's hugely, hugely, hugely important. And it takes some time. It takes conversations. It takes some patience in really understanding what it is that you want to get it done. I talked for him for about an hour. That was a really, really great conversation. I learned that I needed to have probably 2 more conversations before I talked with him. I probably should have had 2 to 3 more family conversations. He didn't say that, but I could tell from, the conversation that I should have had 2 or 3 more family conversations before I actually had that second call with him. I shouldn't have thought that I knew. I should have had at least 2 or 3 more family conversations, right? So, so that was good to know as well. Really good, sharp guy. And I'm going to share the questions that I asked him. I didn't get to ramble them off like I was shooting a gun, but I did ask them throughout the conversation. And I'm going to share those with you. So these are some things. And again, well, let me share the link. I think that's probably the best way. Hold on. So you guys can get it as well. When Mullet, those are the questions that I asked that estate attorney today throughout the course of our conversation. And it's really going to be really kind of catered to the state that you live in. That's probably the most important. In Virginia, there's no estate tax currently, but there's still probate. And so there's still, chances of people attacking your estate, attacking your assets, right? Inheritance can still get attacked, right? So you still have to have some kind of asset protection. But I share with them that we were reading books like Strangers in Paradise by Jason Grubman, that we were recommended reading Killing Sacred Cows by Garrett Gunderson. He was blown away. He's like, oh, wow, really? Wow. So, yeah. And so it's been exciting to do it together. Absolutely exciting to do it together. So let me share your screen. Oh, 52 minutes less than. I don't see it on here. Oh, there it is. So there it is there, right there, guys. Question to ask your estate planning attorney. Please take the link. Definitely get these down. I challenge you to take the time to make the arrangements, to make the phone calls, to get someone on the phone and say, look, I may or may not be in a position to do this right now, but I would love to talk with you if you're willing to answer some questions so I can begin the process, so I can begin this process. Very, very important to do. And there's the questions right there. Really, really good questions. This is important, a very, very important one. Is your primary focus on estate planning, right? So that was an important question. How long? I already knew that from the first call. Do you actually execute? Yeah, and that's exactly what happened with him with the second question. He was having kind of others kind of do the associated trust part. So in other words, merely draw up estate planning documents while others execute the associated trust. And he does the trust. So that was great. Answer the questions to periodic reviews, definitely. So those are the questions there. Definitely grab the link. And he answered this in the conversation. Can you help me create a comprehensive estate plan that includes wills, trust, and life insurance? And so I definitely let him know about what we were looking to do. And that category. In fact, he said he knew someone who's very, very familiar what I was wanting to do with the cash value life insurance thing. So that was cool. Told me about high charge, flat fee, not cheap, because of the trusts involved, not cheap at all. How do you feel about revocable living trust? And he told me how he felt because of the state where I lived. And here it says, unfortunately, some lawyers recommend these structures simply so they can charge more money, right? And so, I knew that going in, but so I had to, right? So I had to feel the conversation out. And so he's a very, very honest guy. So that was very, very cool. So putting assets into a revocable, and there's also an irrevocable living trust, can avoid the costly onerous probate process. But this may not be the best move for everyone because revocable living trust doesn't avoid inheritance, estate, or income taxes, right? So those are the questions there, guys. I wanted to share that with you. Again, my point was really, I wanted to do this. I wanted to share it with you guys, and I wanted you guys to don't hesitate to call, make these calls, find if you know someone who can make some recommendations, and just be honest with them and say, you know, I may or may not be in a position to start this right now, but that would be awesome if I could ask you some questions and kind of start the process. The good ones will say sure. Now they may only give you 15 to 20, 25 minutes, but the better ones will give you some time, right? And try to establish a relationship that ultimately can be, you know, where you can become a client, right? It's hugely important. So, but don't be afraid to kind of start the process. And also don't be afraid to say, you know, I'm not really right now in the trust phase yet. I'd like to just kind of start with the regular estate planning, and maybe in a year or so, we can change it and start those trusts, right? You might be 25, 30 years old, you know, and, you know, it's a little different than someone who's maybe in their mid 50s, right? It was a completely different kind of scenario, right? So there they are there. XRP, thanks for sharing those questions. You're welcome, For Sale. For Sale says, I am not afraid. I hear you, my friend. That's the way you got to be, right? These are your assets and your dollars, right? You know, they may charge a flat fee, but it's your dollars, right? It's your dollars. Bro, XRP, what's going on, bro? Oh, really? Yeah, what's up with him not showing up on the channel anymore, man? Siege, sorry I'm late. I'll catch the replay, but just got off the phone with Robert. Can't be any more bullish than I am right now. Yes, indeed. What is he, on timeout or something? He has not been in the stream in a long time, bro. XRP. Tell him that Crypto C says he misses him. What is CODX I'm seeing there? What is that? What is that, XRP gal? So guys, so the answer, obviously, leverage, right? Learning how to do that, learning how to determine the cost of capital and the value of your capital, learning what that is all about. Really excited to learn more about the Austrian economics from a guy who has a PhD in said category, and sharing with you guys as well. That's going to be really, really cool. And not only just a PhD, but actually taking and applying what he's learned and sharing it and applying it, rather, is a really, really cool deal. What is CODX? Is Dryce in the building? What's going on, Dryce? Good to see you. I didn't see Dryce come in. Oh, there it is. There's Dryce. What's up, Dryce? Dry Ice. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. So there it is right there, guys. Yeah, Crypto Lover, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And again, I wanted to share my conversation with this estate attorney. I told you guys that I would. It's really, really cool. Nice guy. Excited about Wealth Wednesday. So who knows? We might be able to get him on the channel. And also great, honest, trust, transparent conversation with Blake from I Trust Capital. that was really cool. And yeah, so we're looking to definitely schedule that to get him on the channel so that so you have access to another option with your capital. And so we're here to help you kind of figure out the value of your capital and getting that it does have value, and then kind of deciding what are the better places for you and the better options for you to do with that capital, right? In the end, that's the goal, guys. All right, guys, listen, I am going to wrap up this stream. It's been a cool hangout, another great Wealth Wednesday. Please, do you guys need that link again? Let me see if I still have it saved. Yep. There it is. If you guys need that link again, there's some really, really good questions. Hey, man, sometimes you got to weed the garden, TJ Jackson. Sometimes you got to weed the garden, bro. Lost all my friends when I took on this wealth journey. Survival of the fittest, indeed. Sometimes you got to weed the garden, right? You know what we say on this channel, right? Sometimes you have to walk away from the 97%, right? Don't walk like they walk. Don't talk like they talk. Don't act like they act. Don't read what they read, right? Walk away, right? Walk away from the 97%. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up the stream like I do all my streams and remind you of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye. Oh yeah, bro, XRP. I know, bro. I had a great conversation with him. I've only talked with him on the phone like once or twice though. But yeah, absolutely. Like minds, bro. Like minds, without question. Have a great night, guys. I got to get out. I got to get my daughter out and go run her around a little bit. Thanks for hanging out, fam. I'll see you guys tomorrow.